What on earth am I wearing? Well, you guys probably already know. If you're a fan of VR, you know that the Bhaptics Tactsuit exists, and that's what this is. This is the Bhaptic Tactsuit X40. They make a model called the X16, which is the same thing but fewer motors. I'm going to get into the differences between the two, what I think of this, and at the end of the episode, I'm ultimately going to answer, should you buy this or should you not, and why? We're going to get into it. You're watching Bringhurst VR.
Little by little you take control. It's a little uncivil how your game's in motion. And I don't even notice that I'm playing your game. Till you leave me alone and thinking I'm the one to pay.
So how does this thing work? Let's begin with that.
Oh, wow. I jumped into an older game, an older level of this. This is Jeff, and I'm low on health. Look at that. My heartbeat. That's wild.
In both the X16 and the X40, the numbers associated with those names reflect the number of motors in the haptic suit. So this is the X40 and it has 40 motors. They're in the chest, along the abs, and on the back. And then of course I'm wearing the Tactosi for arms, which I'm going to get into, but all you need to know right now is that it takes that same haptic feedback and puts it in your arms. We'll talk about why that's good. Honestly, I'm not going to leave you hanging on that. I love these things. They're amazing. Now, Bhaptics is a company that's been around for a few years now, and over that time they have integrated this suit and the X16, and they have adapters for feet and a facial interface and gloves. They have got quite a bit. Some of it's hit or miss. I haven't tried all of it, but I have reason to think that a couple of them are just not going to be for you. But the show stealer here are going to be the arms and the vest. Now, this vest works natively out of the box with quite a bit over 200 games across Quest Standalone and Steam. I can't even begin to go into the list of all of the games they support. I'll show a scrolling thing right here just to give you an idea, but the takeaway of it is that they cover Half-Life Alyx, Breachers, they just got support, Synth Riders, Onward, Population 1, Contractors, Arizona Sunshine, you name it, and they either support it natively or they support it with a mod, or you can bet that support is on the way. They've been really good over the last 3 years, just bringing more support toward this vest, and I'm honestly pretty impressed with the number of games that it supports. It's not one of those things where you're going to drop a bunch of money on it and 1 out of 5 games you want to play will have support. That's not happening. It's any game that really interests me, it's supported. The only game I've found so far that it doesn't support is like, I think it was Walkabout Mini Golf. But how would a vest be functional? What purpose would it serve having a vest in Walkabout Mini Golf? So I'm not complaining. But I'm going to save you the trouble. What is good about this and what is bad? This is going to be a quick video. So what is good? Honestly, the immersion it brings is just mind-boggling.
It hits my arm and it kind of ricochets up my chest. Really spiffy.
I had used this about 2 years ago. I bought it with my own money, and I had used it primarily in Half-Life Alyx and Synth Riders. Those were the games that I was really interested in back then. And nothing's changed. The support is only wider. The mods that you can use for Half-Life Alyx, the number of games that they've adopted through their site, and this native support that they offer, it's only grown. And so, man, the use case really hasn't changed. And the takeaway I had then, just as the takeaway I'm giving now, is that the vest, when deployed properly by these developers and incorporating it into their game, is magic. I want to talk about Half-Life Alyx because that is a prime example. I know everyone's talking about Half-Life Alyx. It's always Half-Life Alyx. What's the best game? Oh my gosh, it's Half-Life Alyx. I mean, it's not our fault. Half-Life Alyx really was this beautiful game that made the most out of VR at a time when nobody knew what to do with VR. It was all these kinds of closed circuit experiences. Like, I mean, I'm not hating, but games like Super Hot and Robo Recall, fine. I like those games. They're fun. Space Pirate Trainer is another one. I like that game. It's fun. But you can't tell me that those are fully fleshed out, immersive, chapter building games that you could spend 10 to 18 hours in and then want to play again right after. Half-Life is the only one that's done that. There are some other games that I think are really good that honestly compete with Half-Life in a big way. The first one that comes to my mind right now is probably Wanderer, and I expect Into the Radius is going to be equally as impressive, but I haven't tried that yet. I'm sorry. God, I'm sorry. But I say that because Half-Life Alyx was just ahead of its time, and they put all this work into figuring out what worked best for every other developer. Any game that's come out in the last 2 years has come out while standing on the shoulders of Half-Life Alyx, and very few of them have done anything with it to really like leverage that information they have as a result of that game succeeding. And so to have something like this, to leverage that and to incorporate it into Half-Life Alyx, I can't really explain properly, but it's pretty cool. When you drop ammo down your back, you've played Half-Life Alyx, you drop ammo down your back, I can feel it slip into my backpack. If I get shot, I feel it. If a crab grabs me, I feel it. And when I'm using the multi-tool to solve those puzzles, drawing the electric current through the wall, if I get shocked, I get shocked. And it is, it is pretty wild.
Jesus, that shocked my chest. Oh my gosh. That scared me. Back you. Okay.
When I first got this a couple of years ago, I thought it would be... Okay, let me start over. When I first got this a couple of years ago, I was sure it was going to be a gimmick because I had come from the Woojer vest. You've seen Woojer. You know, they're the ones on YouTube and Facebook just trying to murder you with advertisements at a rate that makes Temu blush. It's everywhere. And that is not a good vest. I'm sorry. It's just a big, dumb vest that really doesn't bring anything to the table as far as your gaming experience is concerned. This, on the other hand, you could use it. You could plug a cable into it and use this audio to haptic response feedback system they have, and you could use it for music, okay? But it's not specifically designed for that. These games incorporate these motors, and so it's targeted, it's specific, and it's executed incredibly well. I'm not sure that all the thanks can go to the developers at, say, Half-Life, Valve, for integrating it so well, because it's really great across the board, which I think is largely thanks to whatever software Bhaptics is providing these guys for what's probably nearly a point-and-click system of integration. They must make it pretty easy to integrate because it's just good across the board. Yeah, just like in Half-Life, Synth Riders, for instance, you got the notes coming at you and you punch a note. Well, what you get as a result of that is a shockwave that kind of whips down your arm. And even though it's only right here, the way it's integrated makes you believe, like with everything inside of you, that it's not happening here. It's happening here, and it's moving down my arm and then ricocheting across my chest. And it's the same thing with Half-Life Alyx. When I fire the gun and I get a shockwave that goes down my arm, and I can feel it kind of reverberate into my chest. And there's nothing here. That's not happening. So it's all in my head, but it's executed in such a way that the latency between these devices is just... If there was any latency at all, I think it would be immersion breaking, but that's not happening. Now, I kicked this off talking about Half-Life Alyx, but you should know Half-Life Alyx is one of those games that is not natively supported. It's as easy as pie getting it to work, but you have to use a mod, which is super fluid and easy to incorporate. Yeah, to that point, they even have native support for Half-Life 2 Episode 1, which we only got VR support just recently. I spent a bunch of time playing levels 1 and 2 of that just yesterday.
Oh my god, dog! Dog!
That is giving me some cool feedback in the vest. Cool feed. I knew something was coming from the sky before I saw it because I could feel it in the vest.
Look out!
Holy crap! My god.
Dog, really, that was a little close.
And the fact that it has native support, no mods, you just put on the vest, turn it on, jump into the game, and it responds. Now, if you are on the Quest standalone, here's how you set it up. Are you ready? Are you sitting down? You turn on each device. There's a button back here. I'll hold it. I feel the vibration through my back. You go to Bluetooth in the Quest. You see the X40. You pair. You're done. It's similar on PC VR as well. It's as simple as powering these things on, opening up the Bhaptics player, and pairing your suit. Something else you can do, but I didn't do, unfortunately, for the purposes of recording my play session, is inside of Bhaptics. So they offer this visualizer, and it brings up this transparent model here. It shows you where each motor is and how it interacts with you. So when you're in the game, this kind of hovers over your game. You're able to see it, record it, catch it. And so if I come over here to feedback test, I can click here. It's showing me right there. You get these kinds of responses showing inside the game where you're being affected when you're playing. So is this thing a gimmick? Well, I can tell you it's expensive. It's $423 down from $529. My goodness, that's still expensive. You can get the arms, a pair of them, for $211 down from $250. I'm told to avoid the tacked visor. I wouldn't get that, but my goodness, you're going to spend over $600, $7 or $8 if it's not on sale, on this thing. Now you can get the X16 vest instead. And that puppy goes for $246 down from $329 at the moment. And the arms, again, are $211. So you're looking at over $450 for that pair. Now, I have used the X16 vest, I've used the X40, and I've obviously used the arms. The X16 vest does everything that the X40 vest does. It's only fewer motors and it's a smaller vest. Having said that, I'm a big guy. I am 6'4". Now, let me show you this. Looking at this, this is already unnaturally short. I don't mind it. It's comfortable. It's tight. It hugs me properly. And despite being smaller than I'd like, it still does its job. And I think it looks kind of cool. The X16, on the other hand, comes down to like right here. It's like a bra. Like it's that small. It really was that small on me. It just kind of tickled my nipples. Like that's, I mean, obviously, no, it's got motors all throughout it. 16 of them, 8 on the front, 8 on the back. But just it's less targeted and it's more condensed. And the suit is uncomfortable for me just because I'm such a big guy. But if you're a smaller person, a smaller lady or a smaller dude, you know, might be okay with you. It does the job. Just comfort-wise wasn't my thing. Now, I spent the last 5 days researching this thing because it's been a couple years since I've used it, and I was running into some issues with it. And before I made this video, I wanted to make sure I understood exactly what was happening, what was going wrong, how I could fix it. And I found an ocean of people on Reddit and Discord who shared my frustration. That frustration largely came from the fact that Beat Saber is constantly breaking through updates. I used it a couple of years ago and Beat Saber worked fine. I expect it's going to be up and running in no time. But Contractors is one that people have routinely had issues with. And it frustrated me as well. I figured it out, and I'm going to tell you my experience, and hopefully this works for you. The geniuses over at whoever created Contractors, I don't have time for homework. What do you think this is? The integration, regardless of whether you're on PCVR or standalone Quest, is written as the same thing. So if you're on PCVR and you're inside Contractors and you want to use the Tactsuit and the arms, it'll tell you to go to Control and Enable. Good, done. Then it will say go to Devices and Pair with Bluetooth. But I'm already paired to the computer and I'm shooting my gun and nothing's happening, and I'll throw a grenade and nothing's happening. Well, that's kind of weird. But what's happening is it's just paired, and the program is giving you these hints that it's not. And so a lot of people are spending a long time in that lobby inside Contractors, shooting and testing and throwing grenades and getting frustrated and pulling out their hair, and why isn't this working? When really it is working. And all you have to do is hold the gun against your shoulder, fire. You'll get some kickback here. It kind of vibrates where you're holding it with it holstered against your chest. You shoot yourself in the chest, you're going to get some vibration. And then once you're in the game, of course, I mean, so many people are really just spending time inside the lobby, assuming that, you know, no, I refuse to join the game until this thing works. And gosh, but it works already, and they just don't know it because the integration, like on the face of it from Contractors, is just terrible. It works fine. Once you're in, it's a good experience, but it's not as seamless as Onward, and the description that they provide as to how to integrate it and pair it with the game is lackluster at best. And these other vests that are strictly audio to haptic, I really don't recommend them. I've only had bummer experiences with them, especially in VR. It's just not what they're designed for. Don't let them tell you in those advertisements that it just enhances VR, because it doesn't. I really like this. I'm really enjoying it. It's turned Half-Life Alyx into just playing it all over again. It's like it's new all over again. And every time I interact with my gun, every time I drop ammo, every time, like, it's really cool. So you may remember, I'm going to try not to give any spoilers here, but in Half-Life Alyx, there's a moment where you're in the compound, I guess, and there is something big and mechanical trudging towards you, and it's not visible. It's down the hall somewhere, but you know it's coming because your controllers kind of vibrate and you can hear it down the way, and it's ominous and huge and kind of scary. And then you see it with the Gatling gun, and before it presents itself coming down that hall, every time it steps, look at this camera just vibrating. I get that in my chest. I can't see it, but I know it's coming because the vest is telling me that something big and heavy and frightening is marching its way towards me, and I better get the hell out of there. It's almost like a sixth sense in a way, because when it's implemented properly, it gives me information that I didn't necessarily have previously. There may be audio cues that tell me, hey, something big is coming, but I get this even before I hear it sometimes, because though it may be a low hum in the game, a low rumble, a bass of some kind, this tells me before I can even register it with my ears. And so it's been very helpful in that sense as well. I really like this. If you guys have questions about this, please let me know. I think I overlaid some gameplay I had with this. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you want to see something else, let me know. If you want me to test a specific game with this, I will try to do that for you. Just hit me up in the comments. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Ortiz and Blame1991. Thank you for supporting me on YouTube memberships and Patreon. You guys are awesome. I can't do this without you. If you feel like it, find me on there. It's a great way of supporting my channel, and it gives me some peace of mind when I'm purchasing these accessories I've been giving away. And today, from a previous video, I've got Joe Modsky. He won a gun stock. Congratulations. And I've got Cheese Puff JQC, who won a golfing accessory. So congrats to those guys. They found me on Discord, and they're going to get those sent out probably the day after Thanksgiving. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Have a happy Thanksgiving. I hope that you're with people who care about you, and thank you for being here. Okay, we'll see you guys after the holiday.
Little by little, you take control.